Live in the human paradise. Breathe the pure air of heaven. Longevity, vitality, and a lifetime of bliss.
住在人间小天堂，呼吸天堂纯气，延寿长生，幸福一生。
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're taking a bit of a sharp turn. We're looking at a pretty radical assertion from our source material. Basically the idea that there's a timer ticking down inside us.
Right, not just general health decline, but a specific physical threshold for toxic saturation. The author, Fuchi Wu, puts a number on it.
And that's just the first piece. The second part is just as out there, a specific technology claimed to be the only answer.
Exactly. So our mission today really is twofold. First, understand this threshold theory, why toxins might build up past the point where our bodies can just, fix things.
Okay.
And second, dive into the tech solution offered this device that supposedly delivers, and this is a quote, 100% pure, toxin-free air.
So if we follow the logic here, it's less about wellness, more like a countdown.
Yeah.
And it all hinges on this one number, the 80% toxin saturation point.
Yeah.
Now, the core claim is pretty startling. It suggests that feeling generally unwell, the fatigue, the brain fog, things we often just brush off.
Blame it on stress or getting older.
Exactly. But the source says no. These are actually signals. Clear signs you're getting dangerously close to this 80% toxin level. Or maybe you're even there already.
And to really grasp this, we need to look at what they mean by toxins. Because it's not just like obvious pollution.
Right. It's way broader, isn't it? What's on the list?
It is. We're talking particles so small they're hard to even imagine, down to PM0.1, even PM0.00001. These are ultra microscopic.
How small is that, practically speaking?
Well, think about PM2.5, already tiny, right? PM0.1 is 25 times smaller. And the PM0.00001 stuff, we're talking nanotoxins smaller than many viruses.
Wow.
And it's not just particles, it's VOCs, volatile organic compounds, plasticizers, formaldehyde, secondhand smoke, chemicals from cleaning products, even kitchen fumes and those artificial flavor molecules.
Okay, so a whole chemical soup we're living in.
Pretty much. The argument is our bodies just didn't evolve for this constant modern chemical onslaught.
So how does it build up? I mean, if they're so small, shouldn't we just breathe them out, flush them out?
Well, this is the really controversial part of the theory. The source calls it cellular binding. The idea is these toxins aren't passive. They're chemically active, meaning they don't just pass through. They actually combine with our cells, embed themselves in tissues, get into fat stores, and literally stick inside organs like the liver, kidneys, lungs, even skin.
So it's not like dust bunnies accumulating. It's more like glue sticking at a cellular level.
That's the picture painted, yes. Active chemical integration. They use the term resident toxins.
Resident toxins.
Meaning they're fixed, structurally part of you, not just floating in your blood waiting for the liver to filter them out. They've merged with the cells, the tissue matrix.
Okay, and that's why the saturation levels become so critical.
Yeah.
Because it's stuff you can't easily get rid of.
Precisely. It explains the stages the author lays out.
Let's walk through those. What does 60% look like according to this?
At 60%, you're probably feeling mostly fine. Maybe a bit tired sometimes, less energy. But, a good night's sleep usually sorts you out.
Okay, manageable. But then comes 70%. What shifts?
That's when the source says long-term symptoms start showing up and sticking around. Things like chronic nasal congestion, a cough that won't quit, skin issues like persistent itching, maybe even noticeable memory problems, or feeling mentally slower.
Right, the kind of stuff that sends you to the doctor, but maybe without clear answers.
Could be. And then you hit the big one, 80%.
The critical point. What defines that stage?
This is described as chronic instability. You feel unwell frequently. Your immune system is shaky, so you're catching everything. You might even start worrying you have something serious because the symptoms are just constant and disruptive.
And the source calls this the last golden point. For what?
For rescue, for intervention. That's the term used.
Okay, but here's the thing. If 80% is the dipping point, why does the source claim it's beyond simple detox? Our bodies are designed to detoxify, right?
They are, yes. But that's the key distinction here. The theory argues that by the time you reach 80%, most of those toxins aren't just circulating anymore. They're structural. They're fused with cells, embedded in tissue.
So the normal detox machinery, the liver, kidneys, they can't get at it.
Essentially, yes. They can filter what's floating in the blood. But they can't, according to this theory, pull out toxins that are chemically bonded inside cells or locked away in fat.
So things like sweat, urine, they only get rid of the loose fragments.
That's the claim. They can't touch the resident load. The problem isn't the body's filtering capacity, it's the location and state of the toxins. They're already inside the walls, so to speak.
Which means if you cross 80%, you're on a one-way street towards, well, 90%, an organ collapse. The source uses this phrase, cells are rewritten. That sounds dramatic.
It is dramatic. It's described not really as a mutation, like in cancer, but more like functional corruption. The cells are still cells, but their operating instructions are constantly being messed with by this fused toxic material.
Leading to system-wide failures.
Right. Chronic chaos across major systems.
What kind of failures are we talking about as you head towards 90%?
Pretty severe stuff. Nervous system problems, major sleep issues, emotional instability that isn't just mood swings, liver and kidney function weakening, slowing metabolism way down.
Okay.
Digestive system failures, think leaky gut, constant bloating, not absorbing nutrients properly. And the cardiovascular system takes a hit too, problems with microcirculation, leading to that deep fatigue and dizziness because blood isn't getting where it needs to go efficiently.
So the takeaway from the author, Fuchi Wu, if you're feeling those persistent nagging symptoms, you're likely already at 80%.
Yes, and the message is stark. This isn't about maintenance anymore, it's rescue time.
And the only way to even start that rescue is?
Immediately block all new toxins from coming in. Stop the flow. That's presented as the absolute first non-negotiable step.
Because you can't easily get the old stuff out, so you absolutely have to stop adding more.
Exactly. Your only hope in this framework is to create an environment of absolute purity right now.
Which leads us directly to the second part of this, the proposed technological fix. The response to this crisis, the Air 6-free maze purifier.
Right. And the claims for this device are just as extreme as the problem it's supposed to solve. It's positioned as the only thing, the world's only device, that can truly filter out the full spectrum of these airborne toxins, especially those nanoparticles.
The goal being to stop using humans as living filters, essentially.
It's the language used, yeah. Let the machine do the dangerous work.
But how? What makes this supposedly different from, say, a really good HEPA filter or other purifiers on the market? They claim it filters down to PM0.1 PM0.00001. That's ambitious.
It is. The claimed difference is in the combination of techniques. Specialized electrostatics plus a very specific internal design, this maze, engineered to catch those nanotoxins that, could potentially slip through standard filters. It's described as a multi-stage process.
Okay, let's break down those stages. The Air 6-free maze purifier, how does it start?
Steps 1 and 2 are about ionization. First, electrostatic pre-filters grab the bigger stuff, dust, pollen, VOCs, toxic gases, the bulk of it.
Standard enough, maybe? But step 2, the secondary ionization, sounds key.
It is. It's described as having 3 jobs. 1, neutralize pathogens, like bacteria and viruses. 2, actively break down chemical toxins, like formaldehyde. And 3, crucially, charge every single remaining particle, no matter how small, with a negative polarity.
Ah, so charging them all negatively is the setup for what comes next.
Precisely. That charge is critical for step 3.
Which they call the sacrificial black box. Sounds ominous.
It's essentially a very advanced electrostatic precipitator, but built for nanoparticles. The idea is this box permanently traps these ultrafine pollutants. Since they were charged negatively in step 2,
they get attracted to positively charged plates inside.
Exactly. As any moisture evaporates, the toxic residue supposedly slams onto these positive plates and gets solidly plated. The source insists it's irreversibly fixed. It can't get back into the air.
Okay, so ionization, negative charging, electrostatic trapping. Then there's step 4, the maze effect. Why add that, if the electrostatic supposedly got everything?
It seems to be the final insurance policy. For any nanotoxins that might have somehow avoided the charge or the plates, maybe they're too light or just unlucky, the air is forced through lots of sharp turns.
Like a labyrinth?
Kind of, forcing collisions. The idea is that even the tiniest remaining particles have to hit an interior surface eventually. This forced contact leads to adsorption sticking to the surface. It's designed to guarantee absolutely nothing gets through.
Wow, that is a very thorough, very complex system, all aimed at zero leakage.
That's the claim. And it has to be right. If you accept the premise about the 80% threshold, the device's success is measured entirely by its output.
Which is claimed to be.
Not just clean air, 100% pure, toxin-free air. They literally call it the purest and most perfect air on Earth.
Pure enough to stop someone at the 80% mark from sliding further down.
That's the explicit connection made. This level of purity is presented as the necessary environmental control to halt the decline.
And this purity gets summed up in their 6-free promise.
Yeah. Dust-free, germ-free, toxin-free, smoke-free, odor-free, and heavy metal-free, covering all the bases mentioned in the toxin list.
So this device becomes the last wall, as they put it, because the body's own defenses are supposedly overwhelmed.
That's the narrative. Block the incoming aerial toxins immediately and completely. Stop the slide from 80% towards 90% or worse.
It really positions this technology as the single most critical factor. Does the source give any weight to other things, like diet, lifestyle, genetics, or is it all about this machine?
The overwhelming emphasis in this source material is on environmental blocking via this technology. Lifestyle changes might help manage symptoms you already have, sure, but the core message is that internal repair mechanisms are fundamentally compromised past 80%.
So only external absolute control offers a real path forward.
Within this specific theory, yes. It shifts the focus dramatically from trying to fix the inside to controlling the outside. That's why they draw that distinction. Fresh air is nature's gift. Pure air is technology's masterpiece.
And this purifier is presented as that masterpiece, the one true key to unlocking humanity's lifespan shackles. It's quite a statement.
It's a huge claim, definitely, built on a very sobering theory of how our bodies might be failing in the modern world.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the two core ideas we've unpacked for you today. First, this concept of an 80% toxin saturation point, a threshold where, according to the source, physical decline becomes chronic, structural, and maybe irreversible by the body itself.
And second, the detailed look at this Air 6-free maze purifier technology presented not just as helpful, but as the only immediate way to block the nanotoxin blame for pushing us past that critical point.
So the provocative thought we want to leave you with, based purely on exploring these sources, is this. What if this theory holds any water?
Right. If the human body truly does have a limit, a point past which it can't effectively detoxify itself from certain embedded environmental contaminants, how does that change everything?
If the primary solution becomes absolute environmental purity, blocking all new inputs, what does that force us to reconsider about health, about illness, and about the assumed power of our own internal healing? It certainly challenges some fundamental assumptions.
The Air 6-free maze purifier is the world's only device that truly filters toxic airborne particulates and aerosols. Its core design returns the duty of air cleaning to machines, so people no longer act as living filters. Air 6-free means dust-free, germ-free, toxin-free, smoke-free, odor-free, and heavy metal-free. 5 purification steps. Step 1: Ionization zone. Dual electrostatic pre-filters. Captures dust, pollen, plastic microparticles, VOCs, and toxic gases. Step 2: Secondary ionization stage. Neutralizes pathogens and toxins. Charges all remaining particles and aerosols negative. Prepares them for final capture. Step 3: Electrostatic collection maze box. The sacrificial black box permanently locks away ultrafine pollutants. Aerosol droplets lose water in airflow. Residual toxins deposit onto positive plates. Solidly plated, irreversibly fixed. Step 4: Maze effect. Forces airflow through repeated sharp turns. Nanotoxins collide with surfaces and are completely adsorbed. Step 5: Output pure toxin-free pure air. System delivers the purest air on Earth. Dust-free, germ-free, toxin-free. Smoke-free, odor-free, heavy metal-free. Conclusion: this is more than a filter. It is the one true key to unlocking humanity's lifespan shackles.